Good afternoon, good evening. Let's talk to Cutler family members. How's everybody doing? It's me, Cutler, and you, the Let's Talk to Cutler family and fans and friends and brothers and sisters, and we are all here. We're here watching, and for, of course, the next 1,800 seconds, I am in your house. I'm in your living room, your dining rooms, in your cars if you're listening by audio. But if you're watching, make sure that you pull over. If you're sitting up, propped up in bed, I'm there with you. I'm here again. I'm excited because this is what we do. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we meet and we just have conversations. Let me see who is going to be our first three LTTC VIPs for the evening. It's September the 15th, 2020. And I see you chiming in and watching, and I'm just trying to see who's going to join me in the chat, who's going to become our first LTTC. There's my cousin Linda. There's my cousin Linda. She's the first VIP for this evening, first LTTC VIP. My cousin Linda down there in Atlanta. Who else? Who else? I got time for a couple of more, and then we have to get to this lesson. Atlanta is showing out. There's my good friend Sonia, first, second in the chat. She's our second LTTC VIP for the evening. Who else is going to join Linda and Sonia as the LTTC VIPs? Let's see who it's going to be. Who's going to be? By the way, of course, you all know that we are chit-chatting from this book, Billboards to Better. And this is an exciting book, 366 Daily Sources of Motivation and Inspiration Along the Highway of Life. And it looks like our third LTTC VIP for the evening is my mother in North Carolina. Mama, it's so good to see you. I love you. So listen, if you don't have the book, you don't worry about it because you won't need it for the discussion. But you ought to get it. So go on, run over to Amazon.com and find the book. It's there with my other books. So or you could go to gbcutler.com. I'm excited about this evening. It's the 15th of September. You all, the year is moving quickly. We are in the middle of the ninth month already. And for those of us who've been teleworking and in the middle of this pandemic, this health crisis, it's 6 months. We are 6 months in quarantine and telework mode, but we are here. We've been here ever since March. We're here together and we're here. We're doing fine. We're doing well. I hope you grabbed your favorite seat, your favorite chair, and spoke to your friends as you came in. Hope that you brought one of your beverages with you. Or if you brought snacks, I hope you brought enough for everybody. So good evening to everybody. Cousin Lady, all of you all, so good to see you. We are going to, for the next few seconds, we're going to take a look at our lessons for Sunday, Monday, and today, Tuesday. And then, of course, on Thursdays, you all know what we do. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we look at those lessons. And then Saturday, I often say this all day, your way, whether you're going to use it for meditation or conversation starters, whatever you're going to do, you can pick it up and use the quote for that day. So I hope that you all on your way in made sure that you went below the conversation and you did a thumbs up to like the conversation. I hope also that you are sharing the conversation. If you haven't, make sure that you go ahead and share it. You can share it on your pages. And then if you share it, let me know that you did share the page. That's good. And when you like this, it's just so that you can say to YouTube, hey, I like the content, I like the conversations, I like the subject matter of that Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast. So it helps me out, it helps us out to stay here and make sure that we are current and relevant and just thriving in a very viable program. All right, so again, if you haven't done so, click the like button, click that thumbs up, and again, share. And although you may have subscribed already, if you haven't clicked the bell, click the bell because that will give you a notification to let you know whenever I'm on, which may be an off schedule, or I may do some of, as you may have seen, I may do some of those inspirational moments. And I may do some of those in the mornings as well. But of course, Tuesday, Thursdays, we're going to be here. All right, I want us to get started because I want to talk about these lessons, these inspirational and motivational sayings for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So let's take a look. Let's go back to September the 13th. My goodness, you all. I am really excited about this one. And if I sound nasally, it's because the weather is changing, the temperature is dropping. I'm fine, I'm doing okay. It's just that whenever the seasons change, my allergies, my body tends to tell me that. All right, so what I want to do, I want us to look at Sunday, September 13th. And it reads, of course, you know, we're reading from this book. It reads, God will never abort his plan for me just because I stopped dreaming. He would not have written a plan, but then failed to carry it out. He is the author and the finisher. Yes. So that's September the 13th. God will never abort his plan for me just because I stopped dreaming. He would not have written a plan, but then failed to carry it out. He is the author and the finisher. Of course, some of you all have met my two producers. September 13th just happened to be the birthday of one of my friends and producers, Devin. So if you get a chance to just wish her a happy birthday, you can do that in the chat. You all, this is an amazing lesson. It's a beautiful lesson. It's a powerful lesson because it really is twofold. This is a twofold lesson. One, it is to encourage you to keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. I wonder if any of the Let's Talk the Cutler followers out there who's joining us tonight, if you are dreamers, just write it in the comment, yes, I am a dreamer, because you have to know this. Don't quit dreaming, you all. If you have goals, if you have aspirations, if you have hopes, don't stop dreaming and don't let life kill your dreams, no matter what's going on. Even when it looks like your dreams are most unlikely to come true, keep right on dreaming. Dream when the current situations of your life would suggest that you are a fool for dreaming. Keep dreaming. Dream when you are envied, when you are hated, when you are rejected, when you are ridiculed. Keep on dreaming no matter what. Because as some of, yes, so put it in there. If you are a dreamer, just write, yes, I'm a dreamer. Some of you may know the story of Joseph. You know the story of Joseph, very famous dreamer. And Joseph dreamed. It didn't matter what was going on. Yes, you can dream whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. As long as you are alive, you can keep dreaming. And Joseph dreamed. He dreamed when he started out working in the field with his brothers. Joseph dreamed. He dreamed when he was in prison, when he was thrown in a pit, when he was in the midst of a famine. Joseph kept dreaming. And so what am I saying tonight? I'm saying don't let life stop you from dreaming. Even if you get to a point where life happens so much until it stifles you and it stifles your ability to dream and it temporarily paralyzes you, keep on dreaming and just know that your dreams are still manifesting. They are still unfolding, you all. Even if you stop dreaming for a moment, you have to understand that the one who fulfills dreams, he keeps working. So even when you stop dreaming, when you take a brief respite from your dreams, the one who fulfills dreams he continues to work. That is because God is the author and the finisher, and he would not start the thing that he's not going to complete. If he didn't start it, if he did not start it, you've got to understand that what he starts, he finishes. What he begins, he ends. He brings it into fruition. God is not like a cook who starts frying chicken and then just decide to take it out of the frying pan. He's not like a construction worker who starts building a house and then it gets tired in the middle of it and just leaves the construction site. He is not like a baker who starts baking a cake and decides, oh, well, I'm tired of baking it, and just takes it out of the oven. He does not do that. He doesn't leave us undone. He does not leave us incomplete. And so you have to understand that the same God who looked out for the dreams of Joseph is looking out for your dreams as well. He is the same. He will look out for your dreams. So you just keep dreaming. And as a matter of fact, you've got to know this. When you dream, your dreams are fit for a palace. I know Joseph was in the field and he was in a pit and he was in prison, but he eventually ended up in a palace. And I'm saying to you that your dreams are worth dreaming and your dreams are fit for a palace. I wish somebody would just maybe put that in the chat, that my dreams are fit for a palace. And Cutler, why in the world would you say to the Let's Talk the Cutler family on September the 15th that their dreams are fit for a palace? That is because our Father is a king, you all. Our Father is a king, so our dreams are fit for the palace. Keep dreaming. And may I tell you another reason to dream? Keep dreaming, because when you dream, you tell somebody else that it's okay to dream. When you dream, you remind someone, you authorize them, it's okay to dream. Did you not know that Joseph's father was also a dreamer? Yeah, Joseph had big dreams. He had wonderful dreams. But think about it. Who was his father? His father was Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. And we've heard it in a song. We hear all that stuff. You know, we talk about we're climbing Jacob's ladder. Well, Jacob saw the ladder in a dream. He saw the ladder when he was in a dream, when he was moving back and forth, moving to and fro. He was dreaming. And I'm not suggesting that had it not been for his dreams and his son Joseph may have never dreamed either. But what I'm suggesting is there was a generation of dreamers before Joseph, just like there was a generation of dreamers before us. And so you keep right on dreaming because you tell others that it is okay to dream. One of the reasons that some of us are still dreaming today, it is because somebody before us had the audacity to dream, you all. They had the audacity to dream, and they let us know, they taught us that it's okay to dream. Even if you don't see it, you dream it and God will handle the rest. I hope that's encouraging you. I told you all that one of the reasons I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday is because I want us to be motivated. I want us to be inspired. And for those of us who are still tapping into our creativity and tapping into our imagination, I want you to know that it is okay to dream. Even when it doesn't look like it's coming true to you, you dream when it doesn't look like it's coming true, and God will handle the rest. Because He specializes in making up the difference. Even when it looks like the pieces of your dream are falling apart, God specializes in handling the pieces. Why, Cutler? Because He made every single piece of your life. And it ain't the devil in the details, it's God who's in the details of your life. God is in the details of your life, making sure that the pieces will come together of the puzzle and making sure that the dream comes true. You dream, you all. And out of the canvas, out of your imagination, just throw stuff, throw the paint on the canvas and dream and understand. So you don't quit dreaming. And notice, I didn't say don't stop dreaming, because there's a difference between quitting and stopping. Sometimes we stop to take a break, but quit means I've lost interest in the outcome. There's a difference. Stop means I need to just catch my breath. I need a brief respite. I need to take a break. But quitting suggests that I have no interest in the outcome. So that is why I'm saying don't quit dreaming. Even if life happens to the point that I stop for a while, I take a break. I may just stumble and falter just a little bit, but I'm going to get right back up and get on the bandwagon of dreaming. Because God created us with an imagination. He created us with creativity, all of these sorts of things. And during this pandemic, dream. During these months and days when we seem to be locked behind closed doors, God still works behind closed doors. And even in dark situations, because what happens most of the time, guess what? We dream in the dark. But those dreams come into manifestation during the daylight. Dream even if it's a situation in your life that's dark. Keep dreaming, you all. Don't let life stop you from dreaming. Don't let people stop you from dreaming. Don't let circumstances stop you from dreaming. And don't let the enemies of your heart, mind, and soul stop you from dreaming. God is a dream maker and a dream fulfiller. All right? So keep on dreaming. Keep on dreaming, and just understand and know this, that God will never abort His plans just because you stop dreaming. So even when you stop dreaming, God is not a plan aborter. That may not be a word, and yes, I'm minor in English, but He is not one who aborts His plans. God's plans for you are not necessarily the inspiration that I'm sharing with you. Is simply to say to you this: keep dreaming. Just keep dreaming, no matter what life looks like, no matter what is going on. You keep dreaming and understand this: God would never abort His plan. Sometimes it looks like we're ready to give up. It looks like we're ready to throw in the towel, but God is not going to abort His plan. He's not going to abort His plan. He loves us too much to abort His plan. He loves us too much to abort His plan for life. And the same way we see it in Jeremiah, where He says, I know the thoughts that I have for you, and I know the plans that I have for you. God's plan for us is to give us a hope and a future. or as one translation says, an expected end. God expects for everything that he planned for us to come true. And he would not expect it without having the capacity and the power to make sure that those expectations come into fruition every single time. So keep dreaming. God is not, God, sometimes we think God has stopped his plan. God has aborted his plan because we failed him. We've done this and that. And we allow the enemies to just plague our mind and beat us up and all those sorts of things. But you've got to understand that even in the midst of our failures, in the midst of our tears, in the midst of our heartbreaks, in the midst of our valley moments, God still loves us. And it is his will, it is his desire that our lives bring him glory. So keep dreaming. He's not going to abort his plans for your business, for your life, for your family, for your education. God is not going to, I don't know why I'm stuck here, but he is not going to abort his plans. A lot of times we think he has, but he's still working. He's still working. All right, I want to go into September the 14th because I want to make sure, I just want to remind you all that he still has a way of picking up the pieces and making them all work together. All right, let's go into September the 14th. Again, if you all don't have the book, we are just chit-chatting from billboards to better, 366 daily sources of motivation and inspiration along the highway of life. People often ask me, why do you look at your book like that, as if you don't know the title? I do. It's just interesting because this is one of my dreams. This was a dream. And may I suggest to you that this was a dream, that this particular one, I know I've written 6 books before this, but this particular book was a dream that was 3 or 4 years in the making. Because all of these things that I'm sharing with you, they came from 3 or 4 years of teaching, 3 or 4 years of preaching, 3 or 4 years of conversation. And this is the manifestation of a dream. And guess what? It was just a small dream, but now we are all participating. We're all partaking in the dream. So you all keep dreaming. You keep dreaming, and I'd love to hear about the dreams that you have. I would love to hear about the dreams that God has made come true in your life. I would love to hear about those. So if you don't mind, send me an email. Send it to talk2cutler@gmail.com. That's talk, the number 2, cutler@gmail.com. And tell me some of the dreams that you've had, some of the dreams that God has made come true in your life. I'd love to hear about those, because not only are dreams coming true in my life, but they're coming true in your life. Some of us are dreaming for other relatives. Some of us are dreaming for children. Some of us are dreaming on behalf of the children that you have. Some of you are dreaming on behalf of your grandchildren and your nieces and your nephews. Because guess what? I said it earlier. When you dream, you tell others that it's okay to dream, and you authorize them to dream. So some of you have to be the dreamers the same way Jacob dreamed or dreamt before Joseph did. Some of us have to be the dreamers before other members of our family would catch on to the fact that it's okay to dream. Gotta go. Let's move on to September the 14th. All right. September the 14th says, I hope if you came in the room, make sure that you do a thumbs up that you like the comment. September the 14th says, if you're not going to help construct, oh my goodness, then don't bother to critique. If you're not going to help construct, then don't bother to critique. This one seems to be for, all of our friends and family members who seems to be a little opinionated, but may not necessarily take the initiative to be a part of a thing that they're critiquing or criticizing. So I wanted to really offer a source of inspiration, or at least motivation, to that population, to those of us, because in my very humble opinion, if you don't participate in the process, then you don't have an opinion about the outcome. If you don't participate in the process, you don't have an opinion about the outcome. And I want to put this in really modern day context. It really, one of the most poignant and most vivid examples that I could think of has to be the upcoming election. It has to be the upcoming election. If you don't participate in the process, you don't have an opinion in the outcome. If you don't vote, I can't tell you who to vote for or for whom to vote. I can't tell you that. Neither can I talk about or can I promote a candidate. I could here, and we could have that conversation later, but that's not what I want to do right now. I just want to urge you and encourage you to vote, because if you don't vote, if you don't make your voice heard in this, then when all is said and done, and then you decide you want to share your opinion, then I will suggest to you that, as one of my previous friends and co-hosts has said, that you enroll in Shut Your Mouth University. You didn't vote, then don't voice. And for those you all listening, there are lots of people who say, "Oh, I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to vote." Would you all encourage people to get out and vote? Encourage people to get out and vote. People died so that we could exercise the right to vote. So then, you don't get to critique what you didn't help construct. So remind people to get out and vote. Because guess what, you all? Have you all met, maybe none of us who are watching, but have you all met people who complain about everything? I mean, we complain about church and work and family and the car and the spouse and the pet and clothes and health. We complain about everything. Have you all ever met people in the summertime it's too hot, in the wintertime it's too cold, in the spring my allergies are acting up, in the autumn or the fall I got too many leaves to rake? Complain about everything. We even fight people on social media. We become internet bullies. I'm telling you, just people opinionated about everything. But when it comes to this vote, I'm telling you, this election, if you don't get out and vote, then you have no voice. And frankly speaking, if any of my family members or friends don't vote, then don't tell me. Just don't tell me, because it's the let's talk to Cutler, but I just may have to ban you or just unfriend you or unfollow you or something. I wanted to say I'm joking, and I am joking to a certain degree, but y'all encourage people, please get out and vote. Please get out and vote. All right, listen, I told you all I'm only here for 1,800 seconds, only 1,800 seconds, and I'm just reminding you all that we're reading from this book, Billboards to Better. I want to go to September the 15th, which is our quote for today. September the 15th, our quote for today says, "It might not," you all listen, "it might not turn out like you wanted, but it will turn out. God won't leave you alone in it." God won't leave you alone in it. And it seems like this quote and the one for September the 13th really parallel with each other. What I'm really saying here is, it may not turn out like you wanted, but it will turn out. Trust your creativity. Trust the one who gave you your creativity. Have you ever started building or cooking or painting or sewing or making something, and then you realize that it really turned out so much better than you anticipated? And I'm saying to you, I'm suggesting to you that the same God who has begun a good work in you is the same God who's able and he's faithful enough to make sure that the work is done. It may not turn out like you wanted, but it will turn out, because God will not leave you alone in it. Again, because whatever he started in you, he's faithful to complete it, he's able to complete it, and the final product that you end up with so many times becomes so much more magnificent than what you initially conceptualized. So it may not turn out like you wanted, because guess what? We are not in control of all of the plans for our lives. And I don't necessarily need to see a plan. All I need to do is trust that God has a plan for my life. And whatever I conceptualize, the Bible says that he is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that I could ever ask, think, or even imagine. So there's so many times that what we initially began, and then we give it over to him and we say, you take this and you do it. It will turn out. It doesn't matter. It may not turn out like I want it. And guess what? In my life, I've learned that I don't want it to turn out like I initially planned it. I want it to flow according to the plan of God. Because what I think about, God can blow my mind. What I think about, God can blow my mind, and he will start, absolutely, cousin. Yes, what God starts, he will finish. You have to understand that there are some moments that are simply magical. They're just magical when you learn to trust your imagination and trust the God of your imagination. Stop limiting yourself with the colors that you use. Stop picking the same colors all the time and use every gift, every talent, everything that God has placed in your arsenal. A lot of times we limit ourselves. Why? Because we get used to pulling the color blue and the color green. And that's all we pull out. When we get ready to do something, we become creatures of habit. And this is the only talent that I rely on. This is the only gift that I rely on. When God has given us so many gifts and so many talents, learn to use every single color in your box of crayons. Learn to use every single gift and every single talent that is in the arsenal of talents that God has given you. And sometimes if you wonder, do I have anything else? Ask God, give me something else. Give me another color. Give me another gift. Give me another talent. And he will blow your mind with what he's capable of doing when you yield it to him. All right, so you've got to know that when you use what God gave you, he will never let you give out. My goodness. When you use what God has given you, he will not let you run out. It will be just the same way that it was with the widow woman who thought that she was going to run out. And the prophet said to her that it will never run out. Your oil, your meal is not going to run out. So your gifts and your talents, they're not going to run out. Don't you ever think that you can deplete what God has given you. You can never empty or never deplete the thing that God has given you. All right? Listen, we've been chit-chatting for a while. If you haven't done so, make sure that you do a like on this conversation. Go and click on the thumbs up and make sure that you, again, share and subscribe and do all that kind of stuff. We're reading from this book. Go over to Amazon.com and get it. Go over to gbcutler.com and get it. And I want to do this. I want to end by sharing something with you, but I want to go back and to remind you all, keep dreaming. And even if life gets you to the point where you feel like I've got to take a break, it's okay to take a break, but don't quit. Because quitting again means what? I have no longer do I have an interest in the outcome. Stopping says I just need to stop and catch my breath. And then you also have to know that if you're not going to help with the construction, then you don't get to criticize, you don't get to critique. Be an active participant in the process that God has given you the gift and the grace to participate in. Participate in it. And then when you participate, then you can talk. And not only that, don't forget, it may not turn out like you want it, but it will turn out. It'll turn out because God specializes in finishing what he starts. I want to end our conversation this evening by sharing with you another poem, because a lot of times we wonder, when do I dream? Where do I dream? How do I dream? And we often wonder about the timing of certain things. And I want to share this poem with you. It is entitled, When the Time is Right. It comes from I don't know which book this is, but it comes from Who We Once Were. It comes from Who We Once Were. The poem is titled, When the Time is Right. I want to share this with you. When the time is right, you know it. You feel it. You hear that little voice inside that echoes like 1,000 rivers telling you, yes. When the time is right, you sense it. You smell it. You feel an inner strength that comes from a place where not even your ancestry can take you. When the time is right, you believe it. You love it. You cling to it, stand upon it, and hold fast to it, knowing that there is an undeniable hour that has come to change the essence of your life. When the time is right, you live it. You trust it. You seize it and know that your steps have been ordered by a source that is higher, far higher than the pinnacle of your greatest faith. When the time is right, you obey it. You accept it. Do not question it. Do not doubt it. Do not challenge it, but walk, talk, breathe, hope, move, and do all that you know is right to do. For that, my friends, is when the time is right for you. I read that within the context of dreaming. It's always right to dream. Dream and let God catch the pieces that you think have fallen. This has been the Let's Talk to Cutler program. This has been the Let's Talk to Cutler family and broadcast. So for the last 1,800 seconds, I've been in your homes, in your family room, in your kitchen, in your dining room, if your car, if you're listening, if your car, if you pulled over to watch. But as we always say, we're here to continue building community, maintaining connectivity. So until Thursday, September the 17th, keep your heads up, keep your hopes up, stay safe, stay sane, reach out to other people and share your love with them. I will see you all on Thursday, the 17th. And until then, God bless. Have a good evening.